Okay, so my name is Jamie Yarbrough. That's my married name. My real name's Jamie Johnson. You can call me Juicy. But today, I'm going to talk about becoming a human rights attorney. So I started with wanting to be an addictions counselor, um, and I'm exploring another career. I know a lot about becoming an addictions counselor already. And so I was like, this is my other career that I would want to do. So I'm doing this today. So why I'm passionate about this is because I grew up, um, my parents, I'll just turn it, but we'll go into this in a second. But so I grew up in a volatile household when I was a small child. Lots of domestic violence, lots of drug use. My mom was a teacher, and my dad was a drug addict truck driver who also transported drugs. And so it was a very volatile household. We got out of it when I was about 5 years old. But it has primed me. Actually, I ended up in a similar relationship later on. And so when I was in that situation, I didn't know what to do from there. And so what I thought about is, hey, I want to be that person that can go and advocate for people in court that need help with sex trafficking, with domestic violence, with even wrongful convictions. I want to work with all of those people. And so a human rights attorney are specialized legal professionals dedicated to protecting the rights of victims in legal proceedings. They focus on ensuring Oklahomans receive justice and support throughout the legal process. So legal proceedings, advocacy, support services, and navigating legal processes. Um, so like I told you guys, struggle with lots of situations as a child and into my adulthood. And I think my childhood primed me for those situations. And so I want to be an advocate for people who don't know where to go and what to do. So I would love to be an attorney for Palomar. I think that would be amazing. And a lot of other places. So I wanted to talk about, there's some really staggering things on here. It takes 7 attempts to leave an abuser. This is, it might be more than that in my case, but it's a lot. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the boiling frog analogy. And this is something that they talk a lot about in domestic violence. But if you throw a frog into a pot of boiling water, it's going to jump out immediately, right? If you put a frog in a cold pot of water and you turn the heat up just a little bit at a time, over time it'll stay in that water and boil to death. And that is exactly what happens with domestic violence. It doesn't start with, hey, a punch, or even verbal. It starts with love bombing. It starts with, hey, this person loves me, they get me, they understand me, and then you're tied to them, and then it turns into something else. And so, yeah, just and another thing, I blew it up too big, but on this, when women leave shelters, 9 out of 10 plan to return to their spouse, which is like a startling statistic, and 4 out of 10 do not know where they will go, which is also really horrible. So skills required for the job that I'm wanting to do is strong communication, obviously empathy and compassion, a knowledge of the law, and strong negotiation skills. I feel like I'm a bulldog, right? So I think I could do that. I can negotiate. I can get my point across, but I can also be compassionate to my clients. So education looks like an undergraduate degree in law, psychology, or social science, law school. Um, and I'm like looking at OCU right now, Oklahoma City University, and then internships after. So experience through internships at organizations supporting victims of crime, and the starting pay is around $85,000 a year, according to the OKC Bar Association, which that's a pretty good pay. So I'm okay with going to school for a little while. um, this is me right here. I just saw the picture and I was like, oh my gosh. Um, so my purpose is many victims do not understand their rights or the legal system, and there has to be somebody out there advocating for victims in court. I've been a bulldog all my life, and I hate injustice. My goal is to work for a nonprofit organization providing legal aid for people who can't afford to do so on their own. And I'll also advocate for updated laws that reflect the current issues in human rights to ensure that all people's rights are protected. So the way to get experience, I'm going to start working on volunteer opportunities at organization, supporting victims of crime, domestic violence shelters, victims advocacy groups. This will come later. I don't really want to collaborate with law enforcement at this point. We'll wait a little further down the line when I'm a little more sober, right? I'm almost a year sober like next month, so, but still. Networking, and then just staying updated with best practices and things like that. These are the people I want to work with. People that are in human trafficking. Human trafficking is a huge problem in America, especially in Oklahoma. We have those two major highways, and we're one of the biggest human trafficking states in the nation. Violent crime, domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse and neglect, harassment and stalking, property crimes, and wrongfully accused as well. I added this because this is something that I have lately become very passionate about. So I think that's my last one. Yeah, so I don't know where I'm at on the time, but I think y'all got my gist. Thank you very much. Have a great day.